Hello and welcome to Bays Unlimited. We're going to be talking about our simulation, basically why we're choosing to do a simulation of our physical product and experiment. The reason why we're doing that is because we could show how the solar panel takes in the energy and uses that in a very small kind of physical format, but in reality our product is going to be a very much larger scale. It's going to be for residential houses. It could even be used for colleges and schools. So this is a simulation is going to be a better representation of what the actual product, the end goal will be. So we wanted to make a simulation for our product where it can be changed and it can kind of be used so that we know how to create our product.
So some of the components that we want to include in our simulation will be controls that have the PV generation as well as the residential load. And so the goal is to show the relationship between them, and so when the power demand is greater than or is less than the power generation, we can show that it will have it will be charging the battery except on peak hours. So we'll have a graphical representation of this, both for the battery charging and for the relationship between the power demand and power generation.
In our simulation, we want to add a feature where the consumer chooses how much of their peak electrical demand the solar will compensate for, and how it gives them the freedom to control the size of the solar and the battery systems that is hooked up to their residence.
So once we have the parameters from the consumer about how much of the load they want to be compensated from the solar generation, we can determine the size of the solar system and the size of the battery, which we will then use to be able to do an economic beneficial analysis to show how much of the power we'll be distributing over to their peak load and the amount of money that we'll be able to save them, and why the project that we are doing is such a great idea and it should be included with solar sales for the near future. And yeah.